Welcome back. We're here to do the twin flame update. Hopefully I have these all put in a simultaneous order so I can interpret these for you guys on screen. Now, as I'm looking at this reading, the first thing I thought was, oh, snap, this looks really interesting. From a perspective of these individuals coming through the gate this week, looking at their life, and we have the first thing, the crowning energy, and it's the whole and the soul. It's a number 9. We could look to this energy, especially within their own emotions, really reflecting about divine feminine, but also reflecting upon how they would feel without you. This also, at this point in time, is where they're standing. It's almost like how it's directly impacting their emotions. And there is a spiritual emptiness to this. And we can always look at this as the glass half full or the glass half empty. And it's kind of that notion that these individuals this week are having revelations about. Jupiter energy can all be to do with this expansion, and we are having this rebirth, this reset. And it can act similar to a Venus retrograde because it's having a rebirth. This is probably one of the years where Juno's actually not having a retrograde either, and that can be quite interesting. So for the feminines, for instance, that can be a lot to do with us kind of letting go of the reins a bit, assessing this big situation, which can come up more than likely next year, to do with the more deep dives, although regardless, I do feel collectively both masculine and feminine are digging deep. Now, I'm noticing this is almost where they wanted to push it down, because there's an emptiness that's showing them what isn't serving them, what isn't making them feel happy about life. I'm noticing as we're looking to the past, this person they may have said to themselves, I was dreaming, I was delusional. But it was the dream, it was the thing, and they're revisiting it. They're looking back and they're feeling quite empty without this. They also spiritually feel, when it does come to the heart chakra, they've really been particularly choosing things that are unhealthy for them. This can be foods, this can be people, places, and things. We have It's Always Tea Time. And this is, it's almost like drowning our sorrows, going into the vault, getting stuck in a rut, but it is to do with drowning out those sorrows. It could be substance to any degree. From an observation point of view of the card, it does remind me, this card, of the absinthe drinker. Which is the person that's, sort of drowning their sorrows. So we could look at this card as symbolizing one of those situations, but also the reason why they do those things, and also the reason why particularly they're looking at, why do I do the things I do? Why do I attract individuals into my life that potentially aren't healthy for me? They're also having a revelation, and this is where I was like, wow, this is looking pretty good. They're having revelations. We then get to be the hunter, not the hunted. And I was really seeing a lot of significations of Pluto really cropping up in the last few days. Particularly it can be because the shadow sign of Scorpio is Taurus, and we're having transits in that position. And I do particularly see this individual sort of going, okay, it might be it's a little bit like playing chess. It may be my move. How do I become prey to individuals in my life, and where can I take my power back, use my occult wisdom, use my wisdom, really, because it's, the owl is a very wise individual. It's growing through these adversities, and these lessons have come through adversities, and they've almost got, when you do look at an owl or owl totem, they have skills. Regardless of the dark, they can see their prey. They're able to camouflage themselves. They can turn their head, 360. So it's almost, this person is realizing, although they've had some hard times in life and they've maybe sipped from the wrong cup one too many times, they also through this have become wiser. So it has served a purpose, but it's also given them this revelation that if they want something, they've got to go out and get it. Now, this is where it got a bit funny, and it was focusing on the light. And this can be, knowing what we have to do and following through are two different things. There is apprehension here. there is, sort of like the little bird on the shoulder talking to them, going, "Oh, good grief, am I? Is there a silver lining in this?" I also do feel this is referencing a toxic situation they dealt with, and they really can't see a very colourful circumstance. So therefore, they're looking at you like the golden fairy. Even though that is something they have always felt, it's actually shining light on you far greater than what this current karmic cycle is that they're going through. And the karmic cycle for each individual does not have to be a romantic partner. It could be an emotional block. It could be a family related dynamic, depending on where their energy is. If you do want to look at that, we can look at the individual and look at your energy, and we can pinpoint where some of these things come, especially when it does come to astrology. I can intuitively look at the spiritual blocks that potentially can be playing out in the individual's life. But right here, right now, at a collective level, there is apprehension, there's nervousness. They're knowing that the path that they were going to date, this emptiness they're feeling inside, it's so much clarity to them that without you, this feels empty, that they just don't. It's almost like it's non-bearable. It's really non-bearable in their lives at this point in time. But this dream, it's like they can't let it go. They can't let it go. This can be, don't be surprised if a bit of stalking crops up. It can cause a lot of paranoia. But definitely I do intuitively feel there's going to be divine masculines stalking divine feminines quite a bit. They do feel they need to change. They do feel that you've always accepted them for who they are. They also feel, look, there's a huge comparison here. They have no questions in their mind that you can handle who they are. Now, who they used to be, in the more toxic, malefic way, no, they're not referencing that. They're referencing the fact that they're very surprised that this love has endured. They're very surprised that this has gone the distance. And so they do feel, regardless, that this is a connection that they could really build upon. This is something that gives them courage and faith, and it helps them lower their guards. Dragonfly also, it's interesting that this has come up because there's a lot of reference to do with divine feminine in this read. It's not as heavy psychically, where they're making a huge reference point to the karmics on this occasion, which I feel is quite interesting. Very, very thought-provoking, huge revelations they're having. Even with the dragonfly in reverse, I'm actually finding this to be a very positive thing. The dragonfly does have this ability to, at a drop of a hat, turn and move and maneuver through obstacles. It can mean a change in direction. Being in reverse, I do feel it's very determined that these individuals are deciding, and it's not even deciding. It's almost like I said, it's in their heart, it's in their bones, it's in their thoughts. Then this is something they can't move away from. This is something that without you, it is like a wound that is constantly festering, especially as their outcome is there. And they don't care if they have to move hell or high water. They feel as though on this occasion, this is something that they really need to fight for. It's painful without you, so they're feeling they might as well fight for you. We're going to go into clarifying and seeing if there's anything more they want to tell us. Okay, now they're referencing the karmic. They're so nonchalant, they're numbing out the energies. And this would more be the reference point of if an individual was in a karmic relationship. Yeah, it's almost like both parties are blind to each other. The karmic knows, the karmic feels very detached. For some, it could be a platonic agreement of some description. It's like, you're there, I'm here. That's the sum of it. For some, yeah, there's sadness in between that connection. It's almost like it was good when it was good, but it's bad now. They're referencing that they have blind faith when it comes to actually moving towards you. Oh, just had a card fly out. Well, that's positive. Okay. They're having blind faith with this. They're like, this is what I need to do. And it's funny because the clarifier was, I've got a date. I'm going to check a date. Because whenever I get anything to do with like psychology, or I'll explain in a minute, I feel a date, a particular date that they're referencing. Now, anything to do with those areas, I'll give you an example. It can be like psychic energy, psychic attacks, psychology. It's very much the 12th house. And we have the present card in reverse here. And so the one transit that is coming up is going to be Saturn going retrograde. Wow. Okay. So it's direct. It goes retrograde from the 29th of June, but we will get that shadow energy. So I do think coming out the gate, really, this is a very interesting month. Definitely this month they're having revelations, and they're really getting to a place where in the heart of the matter, they're sort of like, you know what, with this owl energy, with this owl totem, be the hunter, not the hunted. They're not getting up in their heads about it. They're trusting their instincts. They're trusting their intuition. They're no longer stuck in their heads about it. So we're getting closer and closer. Okay, they know they haven't been an angel. They also know that they can't change the past. Yeah. They're like, look, haven't been the best version of myself. I could have put more work in. I value you so much more. Some are also referencing they've been working too hard, too focused on money, not enough on love. Okay, I want to know why this card's in reverse. Is there anything more you need to tell us about the new birth, guarded vigilante? I don't feel they're as guarded. Yeah, it feels as though to them it's not over. If anything, it's motivating them. They also know that they've got to put their walls down because it's been on offer to them. Divine Feminine has also sort of within your demeanor, within your attitude, within your stance, point blank, they know what is necessary. They know what is needed. They do feel that if they can prove that, they can show that the commitment will be on offer. But they also feel you can't wait forever. Okay. Why is Divine Masculine rushing in? They're at again. It keeps saying they're not in their head. This is why. This is why. They're like, look, it's painful without you. Can't be doing this without you. Don't want to do this without you. They feel that they haven't asked you how you are. I'm noticing this bird is sitting on the shoulder and it's actually looking down. It's like this occurrence that's happened in their heads. I'm noticing the monkey. This could represent DM. They're noticing, yeah, it's just like intuitively, they're noticing the pain. They're noticing the vulnerability. They noticed how you saw the dream. This is something that can be very beautiful. That piece could return. I'm noticing a lot of butterflies. I'm noticing things turning to gold. They don't want, they feel that you have been through a lot. Yeah. Man, they are really worried about you. They're really, really very worried. They feel as though you've gone into silence, and it's weird because, most individuals would say, well, hang on a minute, it's not actually me that's silent, it's them, but it's swapped, and they can feel it, and it causes them distress because they do actually know the things maybe that they shouldn't do, maybe the things they should have said, and it's really cropping up for them. And it's almost like they're having these huge light bulb moments. Shit, I haven't really checked in. I needed to care more. That person was there for me no matter what. I do feel these individuals coming in really wanting to fight for you, rather, for the connection. If you do want to see where next week's read is at, come through. Otherwise, I will see you next week.